Hello babies, I hope you all have been doing good. First of all, I don't have a script for this video because this topic suddenly just popped into my mind, and now I have a chance to record the voice for this video, and I just wanted to do it. And I was like, you know what, I won't need a script for this one, so let's just record it whatever. But anyway, you read the title, Why You Should Skip Your Villain Era. First of all, I want you to be aware that I am not a psychologist. I am not like a professional therapist. So my approach to these things is rather a bit spiritual. I want you to know that my knowledge is based on my own experiences and my own research, what I have learned, what I have read, what I have practiced, okay? So yes, I definitely have some knowledge on these topics, but I want you to know that I am not a psychologist. And I'm telling you this because I will bring up topics that may be a little bit triggering for some people, and if you need professional help, then please seek professional help. Go to a therapist, to a psychologist, okay? And I would like to put a little trigger warning before I start the video. I am not going to talk about trauma or trauma responses in a really explicit way. I'm not going to do that now, and you have been warned, okay? So if you want to click out of the video, you can do it now. I would like to help by talking about this. Let's get into it. Let's say you have been hurt or even traumatized by some people. These people can be your family members, ex-friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, classmates, whatever. And let's say you have been deeply hurt by them. So in most cases, I think when you have been hurt, that does not automatically mean that you have been traumatized. I think the two are different. The two things are different. And of course, trauma also have different levels. And let's say if you have just been hurt, this sentence, you have just been hurt, is like in between quotation marks now. So you have been hurt, but not traumatized. Probably you can heal and move on after, let's say, a few months. You will remember that case, like yeah, it was definitely shitty, it hurt you, but you could move on. You could let that go. You have learned your lesson, you have learned from it. It gave you a chance to learn and to become stronger. If you have been hurt on a deeper level, if you have been traumatized, in that case, it's not as easy to move on as if someone has just hurt you, right? Because that is more serious. Maybe you can't even sleep at night. Okay, let's say you think you have moved on and you think you could let that thing go, but it literally comes to your mind almost every day before you go to sleep. Or you wake up in the morning and often the first thing that comes to your mind will be that person that traumatized you or the particular event that traumatized you. I think because of this, even if we say that we have moved on and we have healed, that might not be the case. I think it takes more work to get through traumas, to like getting to the point that it does not trigger you, or at least does not trigger you that easily or that often. The healing process takes a little bit longer. For many of us, it can take even years, and that is totally okay. And often the people who hurt you, there can be so many cases, but I think from what I have observed, I noticed that there are two main cases. So there are rotten, evil, narcissistic people who traumatize you so bad that it will take you, let's say, at least a year to heal. That kind of people, they do it on purpose. Maybe they are narcissistic or they are dark empaths. Yes, they are sick, like they have something going on in their minds. They should get help, they should seek therapy. Often these people will do that on purpose. And then the other main group of people who traumatize you are often not even aware of the fact that they hurt you. Let's say they have also been traumatized, but they are either not emotionally intelligent enough to be aware of the fact that they are hurting you. Other cases can be maybe they have emotional intelligence, but they have not moved on from their own trauma. They have not tried doing shadow work. They lack empathy or spirituality. They have not sought therapy when they were supposed to do so. They have not moved on from the past, from the people or the events that damaged them. Maybe they are not even aware of these facts, so they hurt you, and this is a devilish cycle. So if you get hurt by these kinds of people and you don't heal yourself, don't do shadow work, don't go to therapy, then it can happen that you will also hurt another person unintentionally. Because these motherfuckers hurt us, we have to do the work instead of them so that we don't hurt others. It's really hard, right? It takes so much effort and energy to learn how to heal and how to let these things go. You literally have to clean your soul. You literally have to stand up again so that you can tell that you are fully healed. Like, yes, you have to do work. It takes energy, and it even takes more energy to forgive them. Now, the trauma can be so severe that you are just not able to forgive that person for what they have done to you. So in many cases, I think forgiveness is the key to truly let that trauma go and to fully recover and heal. But as I have mentioned, it can be so severe that maybe that's not the solution. But again, I'm not a psychologist. So if you have been hurt so bad that you just cannot forgive that person, then please seek help, because the fact that you are not able to forgive, it has to have a reason. And I'm not telling you to forgive them for what they have done, okay? Because as I have told earlier, there are different levels of trauma. And I'm talking about all of these things because it gives you a better understanding of the reasons why you should skip your villain era. Like, we have to get to the point. There's a road, there's a way. Because it's not just that, oh, I'm going to skip my villain era. Like, we have to understand why we should skip that. Another thing is that I'm not going to stop you from entering your villain era. Like, honestly, so many of us absolutely have the right. We have been hurt so much that we have the right to ruin those people's lives. And many of us have the ability. Honestly, I have been hurt by motherfuckers so bad. I'm not going to get into the details because I'm not going to tell everything about myself on the internet, but I have been traumatized really bad by these ugly ass bitches, and I have the ability to ruin their lives. I could take revenge so easily. I am going to tell you why I'm not doing that, okay? What I wanted to tell before telling that is that if you want to take revenge, then go baby girl. I'm not going to stop you, or baby boy. I'm going to call everyone baby girl now because that's easier for me. So baby girl, if you want to take revenge, then go and take revenge. But be aware of the consequences. Like, your actions will always have consequences. If you don't want to believe in karma, then you don't have to believe in karma. Me personally, I do, because this is my experience. But in my life, karma has taken care of the bitches that traumatized me or just hurt me. If you want to ruin their lives, then ruin it, but be aware of the fact that that is what a villain would do. And honestly, being a villain is cool. Like, I'm not glamorizing being evil, but it's just cool. Believe me, I have the tendency to become a villain. I have never become like a true villain, like an evil person, even if I had all the rights to do so. I'm a Gemini, so I have multiple personalities, okay? Sorry. My best version or the best part in me have always stopped me from being a villain. Like, I was really close to it actually several times. I could have gone feral. I could have not cared less. Like, I could have ruined everything, everyone that had hurt me in the past. I could have taken revenge so easily, but I did not, because the good side of me said, don't do that, be a good person. And this is where I'm going to get into the part of why you should skip your villain era. I have mentioned that I believe that your actions have consequences. So if you have been hurt by someone and you take revenge on them and you will hurt them, I think you will get into a cycle and you will get hurt again. Now, of course, if you are a good person and haven't done anything bad, you could still have been hurt. Like, many of us have experienced it, right? I think there are also reasons for that, but I'm not going to get into that now. What I want to say is that literally the most warm-hearted, the best people get hurt by evil people so often, and they do not deserve it. But because they are truly good people, they won't hurt them back or won't hurt others, and why you should continuously be kind and good. Your actions have consequences. If you believe that they don't, then maybe that is true for you, but honestly, I'm not a fan of that approach. Like, I'm going to be honest here. I kind of believe in karma, and what goes around comes around. You do you, baby girl. Another reason is that why would you continue to give your energy to these holes? Like, you have been hurt by them. Let's say you don't talk anymore, or they are not in your life anymore, but you have thought about taking revenge and taking down their lives rightfully. Why would you put energy into plotting revenge and ruining their whole lives when that takes so much energy, right? Why would you not give that energy to yourself? You can take revenge by becoming the best version of yourself, becoming successful, hot AF, having a fire glow up. Those people will look at you and be so jealous, and they will realize how awful they were. Believe me, that always happens. And if you are not satisfied with just working on yourself, leveling up, if that's not enough for you, then be aware of the fact that if you put all that energy in, and it will show on the outside, it will show in your whole life, then those bitches will notice that and it will make them feel bad. If you want to really take revenge, then think of you becoming a better version of yourself. Think of that as revenge. Maybe that will satisfy your inner villain. I have seen all these memes and videos across Instagram and YouTube, like literally edits of anime characters with like evil-ass lines that I am entering my villain era, and like even real life people or just people using these anime characters and quotes or lines in edits. I have seen so many of them. Honestly, I'm like, that's kind of cool. But at the same time, I'm thinking like, why would you do that? Honestly, I think you are actually a stronger person if you skip your villain era, because you are able to heal by yourself. You are able to level up, to glow up. you do that for yourself and for the people you truly love, for people who deserve it, not just yourself. So you make your own life and your loved ones' lives better. The energy that you would put into becoming a villain, you put that energy into something better that shows how strong you are. Okay, so I don't know how many of you all have seen Naruto, but Naruto, he had so many moments or chances in his life when he could have become a freaking villain, and he did not. He stayed humble, cute, funny, bright. That boy have been traumatized so bad since he was a freaking child, and he stayed a good person. I think you could pick examples from real life too. Like, I know some artists or singers who have been hurt so bad, and instead of becoming a horrible person, they chose to put that energy into creating something beautiful like art or music, and they have helped so many people. They used the energy of them being sad and hurt and put it into their craft. So they are truly superheroes. They had the chance to become villains, but they did not. And that's so cool. For me, that shows how strong they are. Another reason why you should skip your villain era is because it takes a lot of time, right? In order to be a villain, you kind of have to change your personality. Deep in your heart, you can feel that that is just not right. Because most of us are good people on the inside. Even people who unintentionally hurt or traumatize others, actually they are good. Okay, so I'm not talking about... how should I put this so YouTube does not take the video down? I'm not talking about people who do absolutely unforgivable things or people who traumatize others intentionally, okay? I'm not talking about those people. But often the people who traumatize others, not in a severe way, also have goodness in their heart because they were children once, and somewhere deep inside they still have that inner child. What did I want to say? Yeah, it takes time and effort and energy, so you have to transform your whole personality and even your looks or style, I don't know. And then you take revenge and do as you want like a true villain, not caring of the consequences, not caring about the feelings of others. And as time passes, you will probably realize that actually hurts you, not just them, but you as well. Because in the process of hurting others, you also hurt your own self. Like, let's be real. And I think everyone who acts like a villain will realize this fact later. So why would you want to go all through that, changing your whole personality and hurting others, and then realizing later that you also hurt yourself and that you have made big mistakes? Why would you want to go all through that? Maybe you will waste years of your life doing that shit, and then you will realize what you have done and you will regret the whole thing. So instead of doing that, why would you not want to be kind and a good person? It's more difficult, it's harder to stay kind, but on the long run, it is worth it. Another reason why you should skip your villain era is because villains usually ruin things. Like, they don't build things. The protagonists, the heroes of the stories, they are the ones who build things, who create things. Like, nothing is just black and white. Like, to some extent, everyone is a little bit gray. What do I mean by this? The heroes of the story will also have weak moments when they want to transform into a villain. And the villains, we often kind of resonate with them because they are right about so many things. But usually, villains ruin things. And on the long run, the world can become a better place if more of us build things instead of ruining things. Sorry for my broken English, but I think you get what I mean. Oh, and also, everything is energy. So, if you have good energy and you focus on being a good person, then that will show on the outside and you will just be hotter and cuter and more beautiful. Let's say you have been hurt really bad and then you work on yourself, go to the gym, get into spirituality a little bit, mind your own business, you level up, you become so much hotter. Now, obviously, villains are often really hot as well, but on the long run, if you keep doing bad things and you keep hurting others and do not care about the consequences of your own actions, then your energy will change. And if you change on the inside, you will change on the outside. Maybe you will really feel yourself in the beginning and be hot AF, but after a while, I think you will become kind of ugly. Because mean people, they are often so ugly. Not when they are teenagers, maybe not when they are in their 20s, but after a while, they will become just uglier. Let's be real. Like if you have bad energies, you can look hot at first, but people who are empaths or have good intuition will feel that energy. They will know that you are ugly on the inside, so actually you are not even as hot on the outside. Especially if you start to get older, as you age, you will become ugly. So another reason why you should skip your villain era is because you just don't want to get ugly, period. I want to stay cute for a long time. So I want to keep my good energy, continue being a good person. I'm not an angel. I'm not always good. Sometimes I hurt my loved ones as well. Most of us do so, but most of the time I'm trying to keep my good energies for myself, for others. And if we try to work on ourselves and have good energy, then that will amplify the good things. Our good energy will connect and amplify each other, and if more good energy is flowing around, the world will become a better place. Okay, and I think the last reason why you should skip your villain era, because I believe that in the end the good guys always win. So for sure I am an optimist and I'm a little bit delusional, but there's a reason why in almost every movie the heroes win and the villains lose. Even if the villains are freaking cool and we love them, they lose. So why would you want to lose? Why would you want to waste your energy on bad purposes? I think in the end you will actually lose more. You will not gain much from being a villain. Even if staying a good person takes more effort, is a bit harder, keep in mind that in the end you will win. Like, have that faith. Being in the sunlight just feels better than being in a dark and cold place. Obviously, sometimes we have to experience being in the dark as well for our own growth in order to learn, but most of the time we deserve to be in a bright and warm place. And one last thing is that I think people who choose to stay kind and good are actually cooler because they put their hard work into becoming the best version of themselves. I have so much more respect for the kind of people who, instead of becoming an evil person, chose to stay kind. Of course, we can respect villains too, because let's say we watch movies or series and the villain is right about many things, and they also put the effort and energy into creating like a better world. They also have their ideals. Of course, I will have respect for them too, but there's a reason why they are villains. I think people just feel that on the inside, who is bad and who is good. That is literally in our instincts, I think. So I can have respect for the villain too, because sometimes they are so right. Like, I'm going to be honest here. I can decide what is good and what is bad. It's not that simple, but if I think about it enough or I use my intuition, then I can decide. I hope you enjoyed this video and could learn something from it. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next one. Love and peace.